we take time to get in touch with the divine. And no matter how many times our devices do not suffice us, we will redo the messages. Oh my God, you guys. Hold on, I gotta get the headphones. Okay, so what I noticed was last night, how is this even possible, right? I noticed there was like 290 something, almost 300 people during the live, and then the device, my crazy girl, the device won't, didn't save it, didn't upload it, and the first video, it cut us off. The second video, this is when I did the second part. Boom, 111. So we're starting over, part 3. You guys think that the message won't get out? You guys don't want the message to get out? You don't want people to know? You don't want people to know this sneaky leak, bro? Then you shouldn't do sneaky shit. That's all I gotta say. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. I told you guys that. You know, with this Aries energy coming in like that. Y'all, let me get this. I'm not on the device that had this shitty sound, so hopefully you could hear everything I said before. I hope. I hope. So first, I wanted to show you the moon setting, but it couldn't happen because I had to have my tea. Also, does anybody else think that it's really strange, right? So before they used to be like the moon and the sun would set like between here and here, right? But they follow each other. Now, I was looking yesterday, and the sun sets over here, right? But the moon was setting over here. It was super weird, and I was like, "What?" That's why I was trying to get it, but I would have had to like remove this whole thing because in order to get it, the moon was over here, and that's really weird because the sun has been setting over here, right? You guys can see it with me now. But what the fuck? I don't know, guys, but I hear that song. I'm going through changes. So first things first, I'm gonna show you guys my fit, daily fit. And if you guys are wondering why I do this, okay, if you don't know me, I'm Zoe. And about 2.5 years ago, I was in a bad accident and I was hit whoosh, in the face with the truck while I was driving my motorbike. Um, Prior to that, story time, you guys are going to listen, I guess, because this is what I need to tell. This is what they're telling me to tell you right now. So first, these are two of my favorite things. I like to be a ninja, okay? Cotton bamboo. I like the purple. I do the special purple stitching. Now I need to get a little bit thicker. Can you guys send me some money? Give me some cheesecake. I don't want to be skinny anymore. I mean, I'm getting some gains. I'm getting some gains. But anyways, these are ninja pants. Now, prior to my accident, you have to listen to me. I go all over the place. This is like traumatic brain injury. It's like ADHD times a million. So, anyways, I share everything all on this one platform because I used to have 4 different. I mean, I still do. However, it's really hard for me to do more than one thing in a day. I have to choose which thing I want to do. So I've been getting good because I've been able to make food and do readings and do a little bit of creative stuff. So I'm getting back there. Yay. Go me. But So I'm putting everything on here that way other people can help me or I can help myself to go back and show, I should have actually shown how to wrap and tie these pants. But it's okay, right? I like to wrap them high. They don't have to be wrapped high. They can be wrapped low. They can be for men or women. They can be wrapped low. I like to wear it high because I like the vibe of like a onesie, like a jumpsuit. I don't know. There's something I like to feel secure here, even though this is like a crop. But it's a thing. So anyways, I share all of what I do in one space for now, so you guys can be subject to it. Uh, because whatever, I'm giving out these readings for free. As long as you enjoy them and they're helping, then help me. Give a like, a subscribe, hype my shit. Ooh, we need some more sage. We obviously need some more sage for this. So why? Special beautiful present from California. Yeah. Sage. White sage. So thank you, universe. I've already done this. Thank you, universe, source, creator, spirit, guides, angels, ancestors, archangels, helpful, friendly, ghosts, aliens, all of you, for helping us, for giving us correct, true, connected, correct, clear, honest, and direct answers only for the highest outcome or timeline and the highest possible frequency for all involved. Thank you for your protection and your guidance, and so it is. So, here we go. I still feel like it's too high. I'm so used to it being like level with me. But I wanted to bring it down so you guys can see more of the cards. So you can see it both. Okay. Okay, so you guys, this is crazy. Let's maybe go a little bit higher. You guys are just in it with me. So I did not, if you guys saw the video yesterday, I did not get a new device. Did not get a new device, you guys. That didn't happen. This is a new little thing. I got a bunch of stuff donated to the creative space. So if you guys want to share or help your homegirl out, in the description box below is my GiveSendGo. And you can see what I'm doing. I have a creative space. I've built several of them before in different places. And this one is more like kind of like an artist timeshare, and I want to get different people to come in and participate. Sorry, I want to get the. I can't. I can't see when you guys chat on this device. Now I've been able to see you guys chat. In case you guys haven't noticed, the last few times, and the reason why is because I have to use another device to see the chat. So I can see who's talking to me and say hi when you guys ask me to, right? Yay. Hi. Yes, hello. Good morning. It is 7:41 a.m. in Bali, Indonesia. So, we're going to get to the bottom of this, you guys. So what we were going over was, I'll get you guys close to the cards. So what we were going over is, we had this beautiful spread, right? I guess I should move it over just a little bit for you guys to kind of see what's going on. So we're gonna reread. We're gonna reread. That's what it feels like. Okay. So there is challenges. There is some things that are gonna come out, right? There is some things that need to be discussed. There was some things, some more worldly things that came between the lovers and the potentiality, right? The well, right? And I would say it's something as far as lustful, because the way that this card looks in the devil, if you look at this guy in the background with this naked woman or whatever. So what we were going over here is there's a tower and a world and a four of wands, and then we have a judgment, a justice, and the empress. Now, first of all, you guys, and then crowning both the top and the bottom, we have death and the wheel of fortune. Now, first of all, you guys, this, if you guys don't know anything about, if you want to learn tarot with Zoe, okay, put a heart down below, right? Drop a heart in the comments, okay? If I actually get more than like 3 people that want to take the class, I will do a tarot class. I can do several different, to teach you guys several different things of how to read the tarot in all different forms, all different spreads, how we do it, right? But there's so much to know. So this is like something that people are really committed for, right? This isn't like it's not like a 1 semester at a junior college. Like, it's not, no. This is real, like, when you want to get the information, okay, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and, we can do a learning tarot. But if I just want to be real with you guys, this is why we're going back to this spread before we get to all of the juicy details that we were going through before. And the reason why is because we have the lovers, the devil, the well, the tower, the world, the four of wands, judgment, justice, and the empress. Then we have the wheel of fortune and death. And then we have the 10 of pentacles. Okay, guys. If you would take a tarot class with me, or if you would know anything about tarot, I'm not talking shit. No, don't get offended. You would know that when we get one of these, they're called trumps, major trumps. Not to be confused with the dumpster, but this is major arcana. These are called the trumps. Now, when one of these shows up, this is like major pivotal, like something's happening, change is happening, definitely occurring. There's no way around it. This is what's going down. And here's some things that are surrounding it. But it's inevitable, right? So when we get more than a couple, it's like, this is really potent. This is really powerful. Now, when we get everyone and the crowning energy, besides the only card on here not being one, is the Four of Wands, which is union, marriage, unity, whatever. So, now what does this tell me, right? When I look, before I look at anything else, I look at base, right? All of these trumps, okay, there's some crazy stuff happening, first of all. Second of all, this is the only one that's not a trump, okay? And the ones that are like this, I'm going to say major, is a major arcana. The Wheel of Fortune and Death, okay, this means there is an ending, a new beginning, right? There is something that's indefinitely, like there's, okay, but it's because look at, he's over here dressed like death as well, right? But it's okay, right? Embrace that. Allow for the death of something to occur in order for the rebirth to happen, right? I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to be all dark and scorpionic, but I am, so just deal with it, right? Happy October. My birthday month, also great reason to send Um, guys, help your home grow out. What's it? Look at these nails. So, anyways, when I see that there's all of this potent energy going around, especially the Wheel of Fortune and death, right? I look at the one card that's not the major arcana. And I think, what is this card? Right? Because this is the only thing. This is the only thing. So what is it? And what is the definition or the description? Because what it tells me is all of the rest of this is actually surrounding this now. Not the other way around, because everything else is a major arcana. Okay? So what are the two cards that we have here that are not the major arcana? And this is the final one, the bottom of the deck energy. The first one, union, unity, marriage, coming together, contract. Okay, this one, legacy. Okay, Ten of Pentacles. This is wealth, inheritance, legacy, right? Being able to leave this. Now, what's interesting is you don't see the full family in this one. And what's interesting is you don't see the people in this one. You see this church, or maybe it's a house, could be a castle. On a lot of the cards, this is like a castle in the background. So what is this? So what I can understand is it's obviously some type of will, some type of legal agreement, some type of something that's happening, right? Some type of contract. Now, I will say it can be marriage. Now, for some of this, because this guy is over here, for some it can be divorce. There was a divorce. For some, they may have been hiding the divorce. For some, they may not want to say that because they may want to come into marriage, right? And that's something that they have to admit, that they're not wanting the mask to come off about, but it's happening, right? Because the castle, the structure, the foundation isn't crumbling, right? What's coming to light is more of the reptilian type energy, the debauchery, the lustfulness, the overtaking in pleasures, and the judgment. And the interesting thing is it's not just a judgment. So it's not just judgment here, right? Everything is going like this. Everything is going from here across, from here down, right? If you really want to understand reading tarot, you have to look how all the other cards are actually affecting it. So when we look at it, what's falling down here, right? What's changing? What's changed is this person that didn't want to take off their mask, right? The structure or the foundation, right? The boundaries, the foundation, the structure, what is not collapsing here. This is not falling. The person is falling. Now he is becoming naked. He's losing his robing, but his mask is still on. Okay? This has got to end in order for anything to begin, right? It's between this. This is the devil. This hiding, this secret, right? This is also something that is going to come out in law, right? This is a legal issue that they're hoping will come to an end, right? Or it can be a legal contract as well. Now, for many, it is a marriage. Now, for many, there is a partnership, a contract, a job, something that will have to end in order to come. Because, look, okay, I don't know how much more, you guys can't see this card, but death is here on this side, okay? So let's just move these over. Literally just move these over so you guys can see them better. Because obviously, doesn't mean that the video will get uploaded. So live is when you guys get the information. So tune in. Learn you something new today. So now, can you see? Here, between death and the wheel of fortune, in the center sits the world, which, if you know anything, is the ending and the beginning. Okay? The ending, the beginning. Okay? So, what is in between these? The tower, the mask, and the four. So, what does this tell me? Okay? Someone could have married somebody out of lust. Someone could be trying to marry somebody out of lust. A lover, a relationship, a partnership, a marriage, something has come to an end. Needs to be, there's a judgment that's going to happen, and this person's not sure if when they actually tell this lover all of these things that are going down, what their fortune or outcome is going to be. That is, the judgment is ultimately going to be what is going to create the balance. Now, I'm a little bit worried because in this justice, all of the knowledge is there. Look at the owl sitting there. All of the knowledge is there, but the scales are not balanced. The scales are not balanced. And we have the Empress here at the bottom. So, what I see is everything coming back to her. Okay? Everything is starting with the Lovers over here and ending with the Empress. Why? Because when I look this way, the Four of Wands, the new world, the ending or the beginning, right? The rebirth, the justice. So the marriage, this is also maybe people stole something. Maybe somebody's going to jail. They're receiving justice. They're receiving retribution, right? Because judgment is also over here. So this is on the same row. What is also on the same row? The Empress, the world, the Lovers. So she will judge a lover, get a lover, receive a lover, maybe have an offering for marriage. Okay? But the well, there's infinite potential here. Okay? There will be a fated ending and there will be a fated beginning. Regardless, but there is a mask that still needs to come off. Okay? Again, we have options, hiding, another person. Now, what I was talking about yesterday, now this deck, this can just be the Lovers. This is the Lovers, okay? This is just the Lovers. Now, for the Lovers, this can be same-sex situation, right? But this being sneaky and this being options tells me someone else was with somebody, okay? This is like another man, okay? So, for some of you guys, take it as it comes, leave it as it goes. If you're in the same sex, there could be another man, okay? See how one is light and one is dark? That could also be significant, okay? But this is, now for some, it can be that, again, this can be that they're coming out. For some, this can be I'm coming out of the closet, or I'm saying now my truth of who I am. I'm saying that actually I prefer to be with men, or I prefer to be with women, or this is also part of who I am, right? This is a secret. This is an option that I was hiding, that I didn't want to let go of because maybe there was something else, right? They want to keep their options open. Again, this Ten of Pentacles has this guy and the old man with the dog. It's not the entire family. I'm not saying anything good or bad or anything against it. I'm just saying these cards with this guy and the devil falling from the mask with the Wheel of Fortune looking like death and the death at the end of it and the world next to it, you know, and the Four of Wands, for me, this is the ending of a potentially the ending of a relationship. Now, this can be something has come out, some type of trust or something has ended, and now there's something that needs to be rebuilt, okay? There needs to be a rebirth. There needs to be a judgment. There needs to be justice, right? And there needs to be something that's reconceived, okay? This doesn't have to be all feminine or masculine. Now, what I did notice as these were coming through last night is, that there is love, right? That someone thought that they had other options, or maybe they thought that this person was working with this third party, so they rushed in and they were maybe defensive or jealous or whatever. They rushed in and they did what they did. So now, for many of you, it's left people in this over emotional state of, I don't know if I can get over that. Okay? And again, we had judgment that came out here today. Judgment. Okay? So, it's like the wheel is turning. She looks a little deadly. Looks a little dead-like there. The wheel is turning. The judgment is here. We will pull some more cards to get some more clarity. Okay. And what we did have at the beginning of this, if you guys remember, is we have Holy Amethyst, which is divine alchemy. Move beyond your current challenges. Focus on what you desire. Kali Ma, facing fear. Okay? So you guys have to say, major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. The Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Okay? Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. So, now when you have to tell your truth, make sure how you tell it, you're not still trying to defend or keep your mask on, because this will dictate the ending or the beginning, the ending or the renewal, okay, is what I'm getting, okay? This can be the ending or the renewal. And how you approach it is what dictates ultimately the judgment, okay? Now, still, before I put these away, we're gonna go back over them. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So, pay attention as this person is telling you. Make sure to ask them questions. Now, make sure in asking them questions that you're keeping an open mind, okay? Make sure that your soulmate can differ from a type or expectation. So, this could be someone that maybe is into the same sex, it's doing whatever, do you know that's maybe into something, and or maybe has been into something, is maybe changing their who knows, right? It's about keeping an open mind as the person is telling you in this state of vulnerability, and know what's a red flag and know what is, right? Honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Enjoy time together, but don't get lost in the fact that maybe it's a honeymoon mode. Make sure there is chemistry. There needs to be a strong magnetic attraction, and make sure that attraction is actually existing. It's not bought or paid or fed through something else, okay? Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, okay? So yeah, there will be things that have to be discussed, okay? Now, for some of you guys, you need to keep an open mind in that discussion, because what's going to happen is they're going to tell you maybe they were into something or they experimented with something, or they did something, and if you don't have an open mind, right? If you don't ask the questions, that you're not ready to receive answers that you don't want for, right? But if you do want to come into a union and you do want it to be true and not trapped by this devil energy, then you have to be able to be in this state of vulnerable, to jump into this well. You know what I'm saying? To do this trust fall, to take off the mask, to allow that to come, because it's like, this is the only thing. So again, when I notice all of these things are happening to what? To this union. So the union, the lack of the two people showing up, showing face, is what's the only thing, what's preventing. Messages for a collective. Express your love. Go ahead and make a romantic gesture. Okay? For people that are out there wondering if they should or shouldn't. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay, so what they're telling me is to say, now time is a human construct, right? Time is a human construct. So the way that we conceive time is different. So what seems like soon, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Maybe like, okay, like right now, like in 30 minutes or an hour, or like this week, this year, this century, this lifetime. When? For real. That's where feminine is at. When? Not that we need to control it, but as long as you're asking us to wait, we can wait. But divine timing means that there's other things at play. So does that mean, do we not stop or entertain? No, we keep an open mind, right? If the masculine wants the feminine, or vice versa, to keep an open mind, then keep your mind open to the possibility that she might be expressing her love to others while you have her waiting. That's kind of heavy, guys. You know, it's like you can't be hiding this and then be judging. Very, very judgmental, okay? For some of you guys, religious factors, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So what you guys may or may not consider, okay? So for some of you guys, okay, this can be someone that is maybe rather religious coming in. Now, if you're like more of a spiritual being like me, this could be, the engagement, okay? This could be part of your love life is ascending to higher levels of commitment. Okay, so this could be something that is coming. This could be something that is coming into play for some of you guys. There can be a thing as far as a religious factor, saying, you know, maybe someone is a little bit more spiritual, or somebody is a little bit more gaudy, or somebody wants to be married under this type of religion or that type of thing, or they want this type of commitment, okay? Which is very interesting, but the reality of the situation is keep an open mind. Now, for some of you guys, you can have a new person coming in that you normally, okay, this is where you keep an open mind, where it might be a different type of person that you're normally used to. They can be of a different religion or religious background. Does that mean that you cannot take your love, right, have an engagement or take your love to the next level? Okay, it can be something that someone has been hiding under, or they're afraid what their fate. Okay, here's a whole nother level of unlock. Okay, for some of them, they can be afraid what that looks like. to potentially come into union with a person of a different religion, to maybe come together and change both of their religions, even, is what I'm seeing. Judgment, justice, world, the will. And this person can be afraid. Okay. So this can actually be a fear of, because this person maybe was raised in such a religious situation, there may be a little bit of a fear of like denouncing God, is what I'm getting. Now, just so you know, to be clear, right? Love is my religion, right? Love is my religion. Now, source, divine source, creator, God, whatever you want to refer to it as, right? Whatever you feel comfortable calling the unseen, okay? The all that is. Doesn't matter. Nobody is in denial that it is existing, okay? The things, the names, the labels, the things like this, God doesn't see. God is love. Source, creator, divine, God, the infinite, universe, okay, is love. Is love. There is no fear. There is no shame. There is no hate. There is no hell. Hell is something that we create for ourselves. There is no source. Would not be wouldn't punish, wouldn't hurt, wouldn't harm. It is not in alignment with the frequency and the vibration of what universe, source, creator, God is. Now, there may be karmatic balance that comes into play, right? So when we do something, when enough of us do something, there's something that comes back to us. That's energy, okay? And energy never dies, it simply transmutes. So either until we transmute it into love, right? And this is another thing. Look at, I shuffled this 3 times and it's still, you deserve love, okay? Still, you deserve love. So what you need to realize is, regardless of all of these other things that people are saying may be a problem, or that people are telling you, you have to do this, or you have to do that, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, or this is against this religion or this rule, that you had this lover, or that you want to do this, or that you're maybe ending with one and beginning with another, right? This can be seen. Now, I will tell you, okay, I will share a story right now, and I will tell you that while you're protecting, okay, this is what happened in my last partnership, which is why we never actually became something. We were never actually together, even though we were together. I don't know if that makes sense, right? It was the lack of commitment. Now, I understand karmatically. Now, let me just share a little story. Karmatically, I understand how that comes back, right? When I was traumatized, like 12 years ago, and I had a lover come in after that, an amazing lover who wanted to do everything for me, and Forrest, shout out, amazing, and he wanted me, let me be your boyfriend, let me be this person. And I was so fucking traumatized. I was like, this isn't, if I put you in the position of that person, because I'm not healed, it's gonna not be good, right? So, I will say, to some extent, I understood that the person, that my very close friend, one of my dear friends, who I came here to be friends with, was in the same type of situation, and I saw that. So this is, again, maybe karma coming back to me, right? To where it's like you have this person and you just want to be able to to be in a relationship, but they're still like they need a lot of healing. They have a lot of trauma. They don't have the toolbox or the capacity to maybe fully show up in that way. And so we have to be compassionate for that. For me, this is why I still give compassion and space and love. And okay. I'm not talking shit, I'm stating facts. But you won't catch me talking shit on a human that is doing their best after some traumatic things happened. And something that I realized, you know, because this person was never really ready to commit, I also didn't make it a thing. So we never became a thing, right? We never had an anniversary. None of this ever occurred. Because what we decided and what I decided in order to allow the state of vulnerability, because I saw that he also came from a state of having a mother with NPD, right? That he was taught to become this people pleaser, in order to receive love, he had to try to help or save people. And so I saw a lot of it. I saw a lot of it as a reflection back to myself. You know, I came here to help him when I was in my journey. Now we both did help each other forward, but there was a lot of trauma bonding. And the beautiful thing is to see another person like CPTSD, right? To see another person that had similar experiences in childhood, and you can show up and you can be that partner, that person, that parent, that sibling, that child, in all these different forms. You can actually be that person to that person, for that person, with that person, and heal these traumas. That's beautiful, you know? So, yes, there were some things, some rather not nice things, choices that were made. But really, prior to that, we already understood as adults that we're now moving on. Certain people get to certain points where they're ready to push or move or go farther, right? And so that's when we say thank you for this beautiful time. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for sharing this, right? But now I can't continue living in this type of way. And now I'm evolving, right? I'm moving past that. I'm bringing justice for myself into be. If you're not ready for that, that's okay. And I respect your journey. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different, okay? You're on your own, but you're not alone, but you are, okay? We're source experiencing ourselves through different forms. So, this is something, okay? You still deserve love after all of this, okay? After all of this that's happened, after all of the heartbreak, after all of this, you know, how people respond to not having processed or healed their trauma, or done the same amount of work that you have in your trauma, is a reflection of their self, their inability to take their mask off, okay? And it has no reflection on you or your journey forward, okay? And know that just because you did experience love and maybe it wasn't right, or maybe now you're noticing there's unhealthy thing, you know, it's like certain people can choose to evolve forward, and certain people want to keep doing the same thing because they've been doing it the same way for 20 years and it's been working for them and they feel like it's working for them. And that's great. That's a choice. It's a choice. Free will is a choice.
People can decide. Not everyone is here to evolve. Not everyone is here to wake up. Not everyone is here to become spiritually enlightened. Some are still going to be, stuck in these religious factors or these other things that they are hearing from the outside world, or that the mask that they're keeping that's falling down from the outside world is coming out, right? And the judgment and it's like you're gonna have to let the judgment fall, because in the end the justice is not based on our wrongdoings. It's based on our heart, on our right doings, on our love, on how we're choosing to regenerate, right? The death and the rebirth, how we're choosing to move on from that. Okay? Now, for some of you guys, this will mean, again, certain things are coming to an end because you cannot keep, and this is a choice, right? And I respect people's path and their choice and their pace. Does it make me happy? No, it doesn't make me happy. I would rather have a friend, It's not about the journey or the destination. It's about the company who you choose to be your company along the way, the company that you keep, birds of a feather. Get all the birds making noise. So, some of you guys are going to have to realize that in order to start something new, to birth something new, that this is what's going to happen. And you are going to have to let old ways, old patterns, old places, old people, old habits, old addictions, old things fucking go. You're going to have to let it go. Otherwise, you're going to be here in an empty partnership. You're going to be what? Married to the money? Married to the religion? What are you going to be? There's not people here in this union. So are you worried about the union of church and state? Are you worried about the union of the lover? Are you letting this other thing become a problem? Yeah, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life, okay? So this is either codependency. Now, codependency. Addictions can be, they don't just have to be substances, okay? It can be porn. It can be, I could be, so for people with CPTSD or people that have parents that are narcissistic personality disorder, they can be addicted to the approval. They can be addicted to the chaos because that's all that they've known, that they feel like they have to continue to exist in that way, that I can't just cut that off and start new. I've had to do it. That's why I'm out here like he caused a bunch of shit trying to call my parents as if they're gonna fucking help me. No, I don't know. That's not how it works. That's not how it works when you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? We could be addicted to the safety or the security, right? We could be entertaining things that are toxic to us because we think it's helping us, right? And it's like, oh, even after the pleasures, you're feeling fucking guilty. Yes. Because you're doing it for what? You're doing it for money, or because you have to, or because do you know what I'm saying? It's like, as you bend over and spread them, is it better with or without lube? Because you're still getting railed and that you're still allowing it. Does that make sense? Sorry if it's a little too graphic, but let your friends help you. Ask and accept for support from others. So, what are you letting control you? Is the real question. Is it somebody else? Is it someone else's opinion? Is it a substance? Is it a religion? Is it an addiction? What is it? What is preventing the blockage? Okay, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Okay, so for some of you guys, you can be afraid. Okay, you can be afraid of how things are going to come into play. Now, what I can show you is when you trust, when you unequivocally trust, when you stop in this fear state mentality, this, but I don't have money, but I don't know how it's going to end. When you actually trust and surrender, right? When you expect the miracles to occur, they will present themselves. Now, for some of you, there is action that actually has to be taken. As long as you're taking that action, you'll be okay. But for many of you, you actually have to take that action. So, and you have to be okay with however people's paths are, right? Like, I've been on my healing journey now for a dozen years. I mean, more than that if you want to talk about just like CPTSD. But more than a dozen years from this traumatic thing. Maybe 15 from the thing before that, right? So, yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, things can be scary. New, understanding what this person, what they might think, what they might want, what they, but it's like, you can never know. You never try, you never know. You can sit here and what if and create all these conceptions, and you can keep hiding behind whatever mask, behind whatever mask that you've created, or you can stop the fight. You can stop the fight yourself, okay? This is like, what am I passionate about? What do I want? It's like, who are you fighting? The only person you're fighting is yourself. If you're not being authentic to your own being, when you trust and you surrender and you're protected. Like for me, how can I surrender? People are like, "Why do you do it?" I'm like, because I know I could jump and be caught by the universe, right? That's why I have the universe tattooed on my ass here, on my side, because it's always by my side. It's always got my back on the feminine side, because it's going to show me love and compassion. It's going to be there, always. Okay? Ace of Cups. Now, let's come back into the reading, you guys. Let's talk about it. Now that we've digested some of all this information out. Okay? And for some of you guys, maybe this person is transgender coming to you. Maybe it's a different kind of love than what you're used to. Maybe it's a different type of thing. For some of you guys, it can be that the secret or the hiding is that this person is with transgenders, so they don't have to admit to being with another woman or another man. And that little mask is gonna have to come. Don't shoot the messenger. Gonna need to tell the truth there. Now, I seen this. I know this. I had a partner that had the same thing happen. They swear that they were tripping. Who knows? Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. How high were you? Maybe you're just into it. But you need to be honest about it. Is the, the Ace of Cups. Now the cups are about this emotion, right? We're offering this cup of love. Now, if you want to offer the cup of love, it has to be in an honest state. Okay, Palace of Swords. Now, swords are thoughts and actions. Now, I did actually get the book because these cards are different. Oops. And I want to tell you guys, whatever the frick these palaces actually mean. Okay? I literally opened right up to it. Palace of Swords. Okay. This card, an environment that promotes clear thinking in the cold, crisp air. The structures rise above the obscuring mists that usually cloud our thinking and are built as observation decks for the purpose of efficient perception rather than luxurious living. The many wings suggest the mind's ability to overcome emotional biases and attain a global perspective. So, again, this is from a higher perspective, not just high, but also like visually speaking, right? Creating these platforms to kind of see. Now, swords are words and actions. So, someone has been looking at the whole. How everything, not just the whole, you dirty motherfuckers, have so many people in there putting in their 2 cents, drilling away like this guy in the background. Palace of Swords. Okay. So, someone has been thinking about this. Okay, been thinking about the proper way. Okay, they may have been working on it for a while. Okay. Seven of Pentacles, been preparing for quite some time, and maybe death. Okay. This could be scorpionic energy. It also could just be, as we're in the year of the snake, it's this very interesting energy, right? Because we're seeing how everything is kind of coming into play. How where they thought things might have been super easy, I do this and I get that. Maybe it's not. Like when we try to overthink things, okay, when they are actually divinely guided, we kind of mess it up, right? Okay, so we have the 10. Again, we have the 10 of Cups. Happy family, yeah. So for many of you, there is a lot of, okay, and see even this dog here. See how they're all in this like glowing spiritual realm? Okay, so for many of you guys, there is family, there is loved ones. Now there is even pets, okay? Love pets for some of you guys. There is loved ones that are actually protecting this, right? That are protecting you and who you come into connection with. So for some, who you thought was supposed to be is actually ending because there's this other thing that has to come into play. And your ancestors, your family, they are guiding this, right? Because this family is in light, okay? Four of Coins. Now, for some, the family could have been misering it. The family could have also been holding on to something. Okay, plot twist. Secretly holding on to something that was left from someone that has passed, someone has been holding on to. Because actually, some of the inheritance, okay, now this isn't for everybody. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm just reading messages. I'm just a messenger. So for some of you guys, there was an inheritance that was actually left, but there was a stipulation, okay? Marriage, union was a stipulation. Now, for some of you guys, maybe that didn't work out because it was a same sex union. I'm not. I've had boyfriends and girlfriends, okay? So I'm not saying anything. I'm from I was from San Francisco, okay? I've seen it all, guys. I'm not judging. I'm not on one side of the fence or another, but these thoughts, these old way of thinking, this old mental constraint, or the way that these, yeah, the way that this old empire, the way that this old foundation or structure or will or whatever has been drawn is based on the union, okay? The union, the foundation of this marriage. Some, they want it to be a specific religion. And for others, what I'm seeing, again, don't shoot the messenger, what I'm seeing is as the union comes into play, okay, regardless of what it is, as the union comes into play, the lovers actually have the ability to change or to rewrite any of that. Okay? The law, okay? And this is even going deeper. The law of the world is changing. So where it may not have been okay in one place, maybe it is in another. Okay? That could be part of it. Yeah. Because the celebrations or the parties or something maybe couldn't happen in a certain place due to this type of factor. For some of you guys, this is a thing. Now, for some of you guys, there could still be a third party. There could still be a third party involved. And I'm just hearing, and the third party could just be that it goes both ways, kind of like us. So, I think this fucking, what is this, Jay and Silent Bob or whatever? Sorry. It's this whole joke, this scene from a movie. Okay, but this is what I'm hearing. Very. Okay, so part of. Okay, guys, part of the third party problem can be this, that the person swings both ways. And so this could be creating, okay, is there going to be a third party problem? Is this going to be a problem that we have to worry about? Is this something that we're bringing in together? Or are we going to have our passion for one another? Or, okay, so this is something that needs to be discussed, obviously. This is a whole religious... This is a thing. Okay, you guys, don't shoot the messenger. For religious factors, okay? Is it men or is it women? What is the love? What is the love, okay? Okay. The king is over here. He was upside down, so the king is maybe not feeling so good. Again, hiding the emotions, okay? Don't hide the emotions. Don't be the king of cups. So we have the wheel of fortune and we have the palace of cups. Where is the booklet? Let's see what the palace of cups is about. And this is a more emotional state, okay? So the time has come where we've been, okay, we have to change. Where's the House of Cups? Is it in the beginning or? It must be more of an, okay, it's at the end. Must be more of an emotional thing because how quick was it for me to get to the Palace of Swords for the action?
But for the emotion, it's a little bit longer, huh? Okay, Palace of Cups.
A cool, serene environment. A place with subtle moods can be explored. The plants on the seafloor represent mysterious processes in our subconscious, which can only be revealed in quiet and gentle circumstances. The jellyfish indicates messages and dreams which slowly rise from the ocean's depths. Knights of Cups stand guard to protect the vulnerability, delicacy formed, flora and fauna. Okay? So, when we stop judging ourselves on what we do or don't like, what is or isn't our things, when we stop judging each other, remember, we have to be in an open state. In order for this person to come in and be vulnerable and share and be authentic, right? That means they have to feel safe to share the information. Maybe their information is, I want to be with you and somebody else. Maybe their information is, I want to be with you, but I want to be with dudes. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's going to know for each situation their own, right? Everyone is going to know the difference. Okay? The wheel. Let's read about the wheel. Because now we have two. We have the Wheel of Fortune here and the Wheel of Fortune here. So let's see what this says about the wheel. We're just learning here today, guys. We're just figuring out what emotions we're hiding out here, okay? If you guys were on the message last night, you know that there was some pretty spicy stuff. So I'm just going to keep it maybe in a different note, and maybe YouTube will let us post it. I don't know. Maybe I got blocked. Not sure. The will. Change. A mechanistic view of life. Abdicating responsibility by railing against the fates. The will contains a very simple metaphor. The wheel of fate. The feeling that our destinies are determined by the turnings and workings of some cosmic machine. Interestingly, counterparts of this concept occur both in science and religion. In scientific revolution of the 17th century, the doctrine of mechanism was widely accepted. According this to view, everything that occurs in the universe is determined by the laws governing the motion of matter. Theoretically, it should be possible, given an intelligence vast enough to gather and analyze the necessary data to predict every occurrence from the beginning to the end of time. Likewise, in religion, we have the doctrine of predestination, according to which God has predetermined the ultimate destiny of every soul that is, whether it be saved or damned, regardless of what we may have to say about this matter. Both religious and the scientific versions of this doctrine subtract personal choice and potential from the equation. Of course, so it's taking out free will. So we wouldn't be here on this 3D plane of Earth existence if we were to remove the free will. So yes, there is contracts and there is things that we sign, but there is also free will that comes into play. That person can be like, no, I'm so happy doing this thing. I don't, that thing that I said I would sign up for, like, I didn't think this other thing would come into play, and now I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I still co-sign it, right? That is where free will can come into play, right? And this is why I don't do past, present, and future readings, because I can tell people certain things that we can see or that we can predict that we can come. I can see them. Yes, I can see many things, for sure. It's not comfortable most of the time. But it's not my job to tell you how to experience your free will of life. It's not my job for you to learn your lessons. It's not my job for you to fulfill your karmic debt that your ancestors put on your back because you said, yeah, I can do it. That's not my job or anybody else's, right? Nobody's. We often allow ourselves to succumb to this kind of thinking, sometimes without even realizing it. How often do we abdicate responsibility for our lives by railing against the fates or other impersonal authorities, such as government? The lessons inherent in the wheel is that this kind of thinking is only an attitude, although certainly a seductive one. Although there is much in our lives that is beyond our control, there is also much that is well within it. Much of what seems out of our control can be managed with some creative thinking and a bit of determination. In a reading, the wheel card can represent feeling helpless on fate's wheel. On the other hand, it might simply represent change. If things aren't going well, the wheel can be a source of comfort, for it can signify that things will be changing for the better, right? This too shall pass. On the card, we see the complex mechanism of the Tarot of Dreams. Hold on, I'm going to try to keep it up here for you guys. Devices and machinery often represent the complicated structures built by our minds. And this once again suggests that the mechanistic view of the world is more of a construct of our own minds than an accurate picture of actual reality. Around the main wheel, we can see the signs of the zodiac. At present, mainstream astrology does not see the planets as controlling or strictly predicting human life. But such was not always the case. For most astrological history, it was thought that our activities and our destinies could be read in the planets' motions without fail. In the bottom half of this image, symbols appear on white balls suggesting Las Vegas slot machines. Okay. I never noticed that in this because I never actually read this, so good to know. Indeed, gambling is another example of people voluntarily submitting themselves to the whims of fate. The 4 symbols at the bottom of the wheel are ancient alchemical symbols representing the seasons, from left to right: autumn, summer, spring, and winter. The presence of 2 dolphins can be considered to ameliorate the mechanistic qualities of the card. Dolphins are also playful creatures and can hardly think of anything else less mechanistic than a dolphin gliding through the waves. In dreams, dolphins often symbolize protection, serenity, and guidance to the unknown worlds. If we begin to feel too much like a cog in a wheel, perhaps the antidote is to imagine ourselves allowing the 2 dolphins to guide us out of the machine and into a delightful ocean of adventure and potential. Okay? So, if we gather ourselves and we see what's beautiful in this emotional state, and what's really important is the emotional state, okay? If something bad happened, if something terrible happened, if this person did something terrible to you, then you're gonna need to cry about it. You're gonna have to process it, okay? You can't just be like, oh yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm an infinite being and this is only a temporary experience. Like, no, the temporary experience is as human, right? As lovers. And for love, there needs to be communication, trust, right? Trust. Without the ability to clearly communicate, without the vulnerability, the communication, and the trust, there's nothing. There will always be something that's hidden in between. If you want to gamble on taking the risk, then you have to gamble. No risk, no reward. You have to gamble on being judged. Okay? By whoever that is. Whether that means if you think that God is judging you because you're divorcing somebody to go with somebody else, or if your peers are judging you because you're whatever. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. Or if someone is judging you because you did something wrong and now you have to say, this is what I did. This is who I am. Can you love me? Can you accept me? Or not? You know? That's what it comes down to, I guess, you guys. So let's get some more messages. Give us more messages about this devil. The Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. Oh, what was popping out? The Seven of Coins. Okay. So for many of you guys, part of the devil, right, can be anxiety. It can be, I know so much and I want to do something right, or I want to have everything right, right? Then maybe I'm thinking too much on all of the preparation and not enough on the love, and that is what is becoming the grip, right? The learning. Something about the knowledge. Something about trying to know more. Trying to know more before you're making the action, okay? You can't know. I mean, okay. We can know, right? I can ask a very definitive question and say, is this going to end good or not? However, the thing is there is multiple people and situations that all have free will. That ultimately is what determines the outcome, right? Even though we have contracts and all this other stuff, it doesn't mean, like, if the person decides that they're going to be with somebody else in this lifetime, right? Like, let's say this person decided they're going to be gay, okay? They're not going to have this union, they're going to have another union. Is that saying that love still isn't winning? Because to love is also to let go, to understand that when we offer this love, that we're offering it. We're not owning it. We're not necessarily getting it. We're not necessarily receiving it. We're not necessarily 100% gonna get the outcome that we want. We're not gonna get that maybe passionate return. And we have to be okay with that. Right? Gotta shoot your shot. That's what I'm being told. Why, I don't know. Yeah. Get the Sleeping Beauty vibes, okay? At some point, look, the 3 swords are up here. The 3 swords are about heartache, betrayal, whatever, right? At some point, you're going to have to break the heart. The heart is going to, like, at some point, it's going to come out. So, in the end of the day, are you going to take the word? Are you going to actually take the action, right? Because how does this person know? This person could be asleep to it forever. This person could be asleep to it forever because you're afraid that they might judge you. You're afraid that once you do say, I have this love, or I feel this way, if they're gonna still want you or something else, or if it's gonna come back to you in equal reciprocity, okay? You're afraid. Someone is afraid. How is it gonna come? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the Star. What is your wish? What is your dream ultimately? What is the wish or the dream? What is the happy ending? Is that what you're focusing on, or are you focusing on all these other factors? All of the other factors. What are you focusing on? star. Okay, for some of you guys, this is Aquarian energy. Two of Cups. Make the offer. Four of Wands. If you're trying to propose, make the proposal. And be okay to be honest or be vulnerable and share all of the things that happen to be able to come to a proper agreement or understanding. And understand that if you're in this space, that the judgment needs to be in a loving space. But again, how we choose to enter this, right? The 9 of chalices, right? We can say, well, I'm happy, I'm good all by myself, it doesn't matter, right? But is this the type of energy that is going to create this new path that we want with this person? I'm good all by myself, like, I'm not sure. You're gonna have to say, listen, actually, I'm doing this dance all by myself, but it's really nothing. If nobody's here to share it with and nobody's here to watch it, what is the point? What is this path I'm even walking on? Is it just for the money? Am I following this rabbit for the money? For nothing? What is the action? The Knight of Swords. Okay? What is the action? The Sun. Okay, so the action is express. Okay? The best thing you can do is express without knowing that your actions can lead. Okay? But a lot of this is in your mental construct. A lot of this is mental construct. Now, if you know anything about tarot, the 9 of Swords is like, it's nightmares. It's a mental construct, just like the 8 is a mental construct. Now, see how the 1 sword is down here? This is the action. So stop being afraid that the action is going to cause this, okay? And for some of you guys, when you tell the truth, okay? When you tell the truth, you're going to have 9 other swords in your back, okay? You can have an entire empire, an entire people that might go against it. And why? Why is this? The Lovers. Okay. Because of the type of love. Because something isn't agreeable. This can, again, this can be a same-sex thing. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Doesn't have to be. Make a small offering, okay? What can we do? Yeah. You guys. Okay. I literally can't make this up. Okay. We're just going to start going through them. Okay. So first, the Fool. You're going to have to make the leap of faith, okay? Stop sitting there rocking back and forth thinking if you should or shouldn't do it. You got to do it. Got to do it, right? The 3 of Cups. Now, it can be in celebration. Now, you can also, for some of you guys, you could be trying to bring 3 people together. You could be, this could be your solution. Not sure how it's going to work, okay? Because generally, lovers needs to be between 2 people, okay? Not saying, again, I'm just the messenger. So what could be is also that understanding maybe that these, again, moving towards offering this, moving towards celebration, moving towards saying this, okay? Saying it, speaking your truth. Speaking your truth, okay? Now for this can be celebration. This can also say, listen, saying what the third party was, whether it's addiction, whether it's maybe you're addicted to being in love with somebody and not telling them. Also, this is a thing. This is a thing. This can be an addiction to where the person is so afraid, right? This can actually be a thing. The person can be so afraid to actually say that they are what they are addicted to, that they are what they are infatuated with. Actually, but coming in hot, the Chariot. Okay, regardless, it's gonna happen. It's gonna come out the night. Again, we have the Knight of Wands. Okay. And the passion's gonna come out. Now, for some of you guys, for some, they're afraid because they see you as the Empress, as everything that is everything to them, that can create them. And so they're afraid when they're coming forward how to not be in this state of passion. And they're afraid if they express their true authentic self, authenticity, which is, I want to love you, I want to be with you, I want to figure out how to work this out. We're bound and determined by destiny. They're afraid that it might come on too strong. So, what can I say? I can say all my devices are dying, so the read's got to stop. Oh, where was it? I saw it. The Chaser. Chaser in a codependent relationship. Fear of abandonment. Okay. So this is what it is. The person is afraid once they admit. They're afraid for the chase to be over. They think that the passion has existed within the chase, okay? Insane chemistry, like each other equally, having fun. Now, what you're going to understand is actually when you stop the chase, that this thing, this love is actually attainable. And if it's not attainable, then and you can figure out the one that is, right? But right here it says, insane chemistry, like each other, equally, having fun, right? Palm tree, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility, okay? So this could also be something that you didn't even expect, okay? For some of you guys, you could be coming into an interesting partnership with somebody that has a different type of lover. Stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Oh, okay. Sabotage, rebuilding, integration, repetitive, persistent, working on it. Oh, what is this new information? Breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Okay. So, the problem is, okay, camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. Okay. So the problem here that's happening is the person that has this passion is afraid, okay, there is an abandonment or a fear issue. If they actually express their love, that the chase or whatever will stop, right? And then this little bit of love or this hope, this dream or this crush or whatever will kill every last bit of whatever they had left in their life, right? And I'm not trying to be dramatic, you guys. I'm just the messenger, okay? They're afraid that when they express this, that when they come forward and express this, that this person might have been deceiving them. And the fear of the separation or the abandonment from it is actually what is preventing. Okay, you guys, again, this is fear. Cannot exist, yeah. Cannot exist in this. We have to rise above it. The butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase. Healing the inner child growth. Okay? The inner child has to know that if someone loves you, you know, if they're your family, if they're your friends, that they're not going to truly abandon you. And if they abandon you as this lover, in this sense, maybe they weren't meant to be that person, right? Maybe there's someone else that was meant to be that person, and you have to let go of that. Yeah, look, wedding rings. Union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. Separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. Okay. You guys have to, if you want the separation to stop, then you have to do something about it. Okay? Ascending. Transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. Now, for some of you guys, they have been doing that. They are working on it. That is what they have been here working on themselves doing. Maybe that's what they're talking to people about. Look at this big old wasp coming in here. Okay? They're trying to figure out how to prepare. They don't want to mess this up. They're trying to figure out how to prepare this date, meeting someone new. They're trying to plan or set a date, and they don't know how because they've always had a mask on, not showing their true feelings, hiding, personality, pretending, deluding, gaslighting, okay? Because they haven't said the truth. Because this mask has been up for so long. Okay, now for some of you, so long to the mask. Okay, that's where the abundance, that's when the money problems, that's when the running, that's when everything gets resolved, is when you drop the mask. Okay, abundance, keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. Okay, you guys, what you have to do is you have to focus on the outcome that you want. Okay, and not all these other scary things that people tell you along the way. Yeah, co-create. No, the things are co-created. So who are you co-creating with? Who are you sharing the dreams with? Are you sharing them with people that dream, that want the same dreams for you? Or are you sharing dreams with people that want to take a shit on your dreams? Who are you co-creating with? Are they rushing? Is the cheetah sitting there patient to listen before they make the rush? Is the knowledge coming in? The owl? Is the steady stream of knowledge, is it good? Right? Are we cleaning it up? Have we removed any people, places, things that have created these forks in the road, that have created the doubt or the questions of why we're doing this, why we're coming together, why we feel connected to a certain person or a certain thing? Because it's an unfinished symphony. Because I can't continue to sit poised between two worlds anymore. Because there's a whole treasure, whole island, look at that. And it comes from opening up. It comes from opening up, from coming to the edge. From taking that leap of faith that you weren't expecting. And that's when the luck comes in. When you come out and the truth is told, the truth be told, you set yourself free. You set everything free, right? Just breathe. Just breathe. Okay? Serendipitous. Okay? You're going to start to see everything. You're blessed. You're blessed. Just remain flexible. Okay? Remain flexible. Be ready for this change in the wind. Be ready for it. Be okay. It's okay to be a zebra in a horse world. There's no reason. Who told you that you couldn't? And where did that belief start? And why did you make it your deep knowing? Why did it become your belief? Question where the belief was started and why it became that. Now, my belief, my guidance, my pull, my draw comes from the divine, right? It comes from the divinity within me. I have no question. Zero. I don't have to question it because I know where it's coming from. I know. I say thank you. May I have another partner that's not a lesson? May I have the proper lover? Did I learn my lessons? Thank you. May I have another gift of abundance? May I know when I lose something, right? When I lose something, even like my tablet, right? Here's the lesson that I never got to, that I was trying to share with you guys. The lesson being, okay, since this broke, right? That means I get something new, right? Wherever the divine has taken or is taking or is removing something from you, you will get it back tenfold, sometimes 100-fold. But only if you're willing to say, okay, I know that this is just making space for a new thing. Now, what I'm really upset about and I'm not okay letting go of is all of my lyrics and my songs and all of my things is actually in that tablet. And I am not connected to the cloud, so I have no way to save it. You guys, so I need help. So Gibson Go, support your girl so I can get that screen replaced, so I can get a new phone. I'm still on this iPhone 8. That's why we're having problems. That's why you guys aren't getting the videos. And that's why every video has to be live, because it's the only way I can get the messages through to you. Because there's that many people that don't want you to know who you are and that love will win. Love is always winning. Love will always win. Now, it may not be enough on its own, but the frequency of it is. So keep emitting this love for whatever it is, whoever it is, however it is. If it brings love to your heart, keep omitting it and go after it. Be okay. Be vulnerable. Be open. Be honest. It's the only way. The only way. You can't keep the mask. You can't keep the mask. It will be the fall. Who are you, and who is the person that you want to be, and who is the person that you love? Even if it means you don't get to be their person, or it is not working how you thought it was. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Make it work. Figure out how you make it work. Figure out how you can talk to this person if you can make it work. Figure it out, you guys. As always, infinite blessings, love, and light. I have to stop this that way. Hopefully it will upload before my device dies. So Gibson, go like, comment, subscribe, support your girl. Go check out my project. Check out what I do here in the space. Ciao for meow.